about
You know,
the New York Giants.
It's a disappointing season, and people are coming down and coughing. And there was a time. I remember there was a couple games when they had. This was when Coughlin first took over, I think, like 06, and they had Shockey and Brandon Jacobs still.
I remember Shockey.
I remember they had like first and goal from like the 1 or 2 yard line, and they didn't get it because he didn't give the ball to Jacobs at all, and they didn't get it. And I wanted to fire him. I wanted the Giants to fire him then, and then he won the Super Bowl next year, and then 4 years later won another one. So I'll never bash Coughlin again.
Right.
If the Giants never win another game, he's still good in my book.
Yeah, he's got 2 rings.
And maybe there were some things he could have and should have done differently this year. But you can't blame Tom Coughlin for the referees taking 3 games from the Giants.
Hey, the refs have been horrible all year.
Right, and they have. And it's affected different teams, and calls affect different teams this way, blah, blah, blah. 3 games, no less than 3 games, were lost by the Giants, specifically and directly because of the referees.
Yeah.
Against Dallas, in opening week against Dallas, I think it was a 4th down play. The Giants got called for a BS pass interference call that the announcers just said was just total crap.
Right.
That allowed Dallas to keep the ball. Keep the ball and go down and score on that possession. And then against New England, the referees took away an obvious touchdown and an interception.
Is that the game where that the same ref who made that tuck rule call? Was that the same game? Do you know?
Maybe, but the Giants only played the Patriots once, so it could have been that guy.
Yeah, I remember they were talking about him in Patriots. I think it was that game though.
Yeah, and caught the ball and his feet touched down. It's a touchdown.
Yeah. It was that. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yep.
And then they took the interception from him.
Yeah.
He caught the ball, he tucked it into his arm, then hit the ground.
Touchdown all day. Because I remember I told my wife, I was like, if we're playing in the streets and I'm outside, even though I'm not comparing the NFL to the streets, but if we're playing, general outside in the park, that's a touchdown all day.
Yeah, it's just, if everybody watching it sees a touchdown, you shouldn't need to go to the rule book and find a reason for it not to be.
Or to replay, yeah.
And people are like, you can't blame the refs, and they lost this game, they had so many chances. You know what? That's a cop-out. Because when you get 2 games stolen from you, you go from riding high and having a big win to just having the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, that's going to hurt a team mentally.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to build off of.
Right.
So, that's just, it was just terrible. I've never seen just a season just ruined like that.
Yeah, by refs.
And by the refs. And it's league-wide. And it's not just the Giants, because the refs cost the Lions a couple games, too.
Yeah.
And, I could care less about the Lions, but, just from sitting and watching a couple games and then seeing that, like, oh, man, how could they do that?
They can do whatever they want to do.
And it just makes me, it makes me not even want to watch football.
Oh, man, don't say that. Don't say it doesn't make you want to watch football, bro.
Well, sad but true. I've watched very little football this season because it hurts to sit down, get emotionally invested in the game, watch teams battle it out where, you're barely allowed to tackle.
Yeah.
And then to be in a position to win a game or to have a game be decided and to not even let the players decide the outcome of the game, it's like, why bother?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, man, to watch.
It's almost like WWE.
Well, they know the outcome.
Right, that's what I mean. And I'm not saying the games are fixed that they know the outcome, but how do you have instant replay and still have all these errors?
Thank you. That's been my question too.
What's the point?
Exactly. I'm like, how come everybody in the arena can see it? I can see it sitting at home. The players on the sidelines can see it, but the refs call something totally different.
And limiting the number of challenge flags, that's stupid.
Yeah.
If the refs are wrong, you should be able to challenge them all day long.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you only get 1 or 2 strikes to be wrong, but if you're right,
You can
throw that
keep
flag all day long.
right until the refs get it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not challenging holding or arguing balls and strikes, basically, where it's just a matter of opinion or a couple of inches, like so. But
We're talking
it
touchdowns.
was the face mask against Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Lions, right?
Yep.
That's just a bunch of total crap.
Yeah.
And how do you look up and see what 80,000 people see?
Right. And he still calling. I guess because
and let a game end like that.
I guess because they don't want. I mean, they're already wrong when they come out and they make the wrong call, but I guess they want to get embarrassed.
I mean, let them have their discussion, let them have their huddle, whatever it is. But it's just a disgrace.
I think they should get punished, man. The refs.
They should.
I think they should get punished, like severe.
Because I don't know how they keep getting these games. Because remember the Fiesta Bowl, the terrible pass interference call against Miami that gave Ohio State that national championship?
Yeah.
That ref had issued an apology earlier in the year for messing up for screwing up a call.
Yeah.
So when you have to publicly apologize for a call that you screwed up, how do you get to referee a championship game that same season?
You know something's wrong, man.
Yeah.
These guys.
It's just.
Now,
it's disappointing.
Answer me this. Since we're talking about refs, man, careers about refs. Why? How come? Or I don't know of any. How come you never really see any ex-professionals become referees?
In the NHL. Oh, what was that? I just saw something lightning fast. Maybe not lightning fast, but it's just zooming by overhead. Maybe it was a military plane. I couldn't tell. It was quiet.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Fast.
Be careful, man.
Huh.
It could be my G4. I mean my G6 jet.
I don't know. I mean, it didn't look like a bird. Like, it was a little high for a bird, but I mean, it was fast. Not like but steady and fast across the sky.
Like UFO status?
Like, it wasn't a flash. Like, I didn't lose sight of it because it just zoomed out of sight.
Right.
I lost sight of it because it went past the tree line, so I couldn't see it anymore.
Okay. So not UFO.
But anyway, the NHL, there's a couple of NHL officials who have played.
Okay.
Briefly in the NHL. But at the NFL level, I don't know, maybe it's a lack of interest. Maybe it's
a lack of pay.
Maybe it could be. Maybe there's rules against it. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
Because it could be a conflict of interest. But also, those officials, they come up through the ranks. From high school to college to the pros.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So they pay their dues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it could just be, it could be lack of interest. I would say it's more of a lack of interest than a lack of opportunity.
Yeah. Because just from my perspective, I was thinking about it maybe a couple Sundays ago, and I was like, well, it would make sense, like if we seen like Lynn Swan, you know what I'm saying, as a ref for some of these calls against these pass interference.
Yeah, you know what? And yeah, I would be much more understanding with a receiver or somebody.
Right.
Former player having them be on the being officials. I think that would be a good idea. But
just the nature.
They do know. I mean, they do know a lot. Just from the book, all the rules. There's a lot for them to know. And I'm not saying it's an easy job, but with replay and everything and the technology that's available, there's no excuse for the things to be as messed up as they are.
Very true. Goodness. Dang. What about your boy Chip Kelly, man?
I was laughing. I would always write, keep Chip Kelly. Because, how Miami fans were always writing fire Al Golden?
Yeah.
Before the FSU week, FSU fans had made a shirt that said, keep Al Golden.
Yeah, here we go in Philly.
I pretty funny.
Oh goodness. There was a guy when I went to the Sixers game a few weeks ago, and it was a guy down like at the front row, courtside seats, and he had like a bunch of signs that were like just funny about Chip Kelly, like how come Chip Kelly can't just retire? And he kept like, you know what I'm saying, standing up with the signs and swirling them around the arena so everybody can see them and read them. Like people were like pointing at him and laughing and stuff. Like he had some pretty funny things, man.
Do you know who Sim Bular is?
Have no idea.
He's like the 7'6" guy. He's like 300 pounds. He's like Indian. He played at New Mexico State, and the Kings signed him to their D-League team just because he's giant.
Right.
But he is awful. He's slow.
He's just big.
Unathletic. He's just big, and he sucks.
Goodness.
And last year, the year before, I went out to Spokane. I hung out with Donald. Actually, me and Donald went to NCAA regional game that was up here.
Yeah.
2 of the games, and he was playing Bular when he was at New Mexico State. I forget who they were playing, and he had the ball up by the 3-point line, and the crowd was quiet. And I just yelled, "Shoot!" Everyone started laughing. It was funny.
Come on, man. You know he ain't gonna shoot that.
No.
Oh goodness. Shoot it, yeah. Big unathletic dude.
Oh, he's awful.
They need to put you out there, man. You got some pretty nice handles.
Little bit. I know my limits.
Yeah. You see, at first you seem kind of from the look. I'm talking now to the camera. From the look of it, when you meet Mr. Motley, he kind of seems unathletic. But then when you put a ball in his hand, whether it's
to the
a
trained eye.
Yeah, to the trained eye, it's kind of like you see he's very athletic. I would hate to see him on ice.
Yeah, I can skate.
Yeah.
Not saying I was robbed out of any NHL opportunities, but I could skate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can hold your own out there.
Well, I started late. I started playing hockey a little late, so I didn't really advance too far hockey. Like I'm men's league good. But
Yeah, you're solid too, bro. Like you're kind of like I'm not gonna say strong because we obviously strong, but solid. Like you're pretty solid, man. I can see you out there. You know what I'm saying, with some pads on and a mouthpiece out there checking some fools.
I was always strong on my skates. That's a fact.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you knock a couple teeth out, man.
I've dropped the hammer a few times.
Oh goodness.
I'm your typical white basketball player. I don't dunk, but I consider my fundamentals to be strong.
Yeah. I think I seen you dribbling a basketball once or twice in the hangar bay a few times, a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not awful. I've done it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
kind of threw me off, surprised me.
I was telling Thomas one day. I remember talking to him because once I was in engineering, we'd go over and play basketball at lunch, and we had a couple times when, some of those guys were just terrible. And I said, Jarvis, you've seen me play. I'm decent, but I should never be the best guy on the team.
Oh, yeah. At least you know your role. That's how I feel. I feel the same way. I can pass the ball real good, man.
I'm a pretty good passer, and that's what I said. So I'm better than somebody with my same skill set because I know how good I am and how good I'm not.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to be trying to do all this stuff and launching them.
Yeah.
But I can make some good passes.
Yeah.
And I'll make my fundamental shots.
Right. Don't leave them open.
Oh man, that reminds me. I was tweeting up a storm about my boy Gilbert Arenas last week. Did you see what he posted?
No. What did Gilbert do? No.
Agent Zero posted something on his Instagram. He posted it was a short video of two hot white chicks in thongs playing basketball. And he said, he said the problem with the WNBA is that they got a bunch of ugly lesbians out there running around.
I knew you jumped all over that. I know you did.
So they got some cutie pies out there. They got a whole lot more bean pies.
Goodness.
So all the feminists and them, all, they all jumped on him.
Oh yeah.
And the WNBA released a statement saying his comments were repugnant and all this other nonsense. I said, but you notice nobody's posting any team photos or ratings info to dispute his claims.
No, they're not, because they know he's correct.
Absolutely correct.
I came across.
I even wrote a paper about the WNBA in college about how bad it is, and because the assignment was to analyze the research of other scholarly papers.
Okay.
So I did it about the WNBA and why the WNBA is a joke and how it exists in the name of gender equality, but in fact it does quite the opposite, because the WNBA is essentially the Real Housewives of the NBA. The women make no money, pursue their hobby, and then just expect the men to pay for their bills. Yeah,
because the NBA fronts everything.
Yeah. So the scholarly papers that I was analyzing said, it's because they're not hot white girls is why nobody likes them. Like, no, that's false, because there's women's tennis, women's soccer, those have attractive females. Women's volleyball, beach volleyball in particular, has attractive females.
Yes, sir.
And we're not exposed to them. We're not forced to, or they're not shoehorned into primetime slots because they don't make the money.
Right.
And then she said, it's because, they're predominantly black women from rough areas. Nope, bullshit part two.
Yeah.
Look at the NBA.
Yeah.
They're just, a large part of the NBA is just tatted up, unapologetic thugs,
right?
More or less, and nobody has a problem with that if we watch it. And then another one said, it's in the marketing. It's they've tried this, went to Lifetime, it didn't work. They tried that, it didn't work. And I said, this is just totally flawed, because this expects us to believe that there's some secret marketing strategy that just hasn't yet been discovered. They're just waiting to stumble across the secret solution that's going to draw everybody to the WNBA.
And it's not going to happen.
Just come on. None of this acknowledges the very obvious truth that it's just a bad product.